Hello and welcome to Container Bytes. Ray is an open source unified compute framework that makes it easy to scale AI and Python workloads, from reinforcement learning to deep learning to tuning and model serving.
In this video, we're going to look at the Ray operator for GKE. The Ray operator on GKE is based on Kuberay, which provides a declarative Kubernetes native API to manage Ray constructs like Ray clusters. This means that you can provision, manage, and scale your Ray deployments along your other workloads on top of Kubernetes. Let's take a look at the operator in action on GKE.
Here we already have a cluster created. This Ray cluster is a GKE standard cluster on version 1.30.1. The minimum version requirement for Ray Addon is 130. This cluster right now does not have the Ray operator enabled. You can enable the Ray operator in the UI using gcloud or the ISC of your choice.
To enable the Ray operator on our GKE cluster, we're going to use the gcloud command here. Now that the operator has been successfully installed on top of GKE, we're going to take a look at the resources that got deployed. Let's say kubecontrol, API resources, and we're going to grep for Ray. And as you can see, we have resource definitions like Ray clusters, Ray jobs, and Ray services now available within the ray.io/v1 API on the Kubernetes cluster.
Here we have a Ray cluster definition. In this cluster, we're going to have one head node and 9 worker node. All the resource requirements for the head node and the worker nodes are defined in this Ray cluster definition. To deploy this Ray cluster in GKE, we will run kubecontrol apply-f raycluster.yaml. Now that the Ray cluster-demo resource has been created, we can watch for the pods to come up. Our Ray cluster is now running. We can take a look at the other resources that got deployed with the installation of this Ray cluster. Kubecontrol, get, all. We'll see the pods that got created, which is the head pod and the worker pod, as well as a service called Ray cluster demo head service, and our Ray cluster itself, which has 9 workers with the available resources that it has.
To access the Ray cluster, we can do a kubecontrol port forward to the Ray cluster head service. This will also give us access to the Ray dashboard, so we can check the status of our workload. Once the port forward is in place, we can go ahead and web preview. In the Ray dashboard, we can see 10 nodes, which are represented by the 10 pods of the Ray cluster. 9 of them are workers, and 1 of them is the head. We can use the Ray job submit CLI to submit a workload to the Ray cluster. In this case, this is a command to print the available resources to Ray. Let's go ahead and run this command. And as you can see, the job was successfully completed.
We could see the status of this job in our Ray dashboard as well. We can go to jobs and we'll see that we ran this job multiple times, and we'll look at the last invocation of this job. We can also take a look at the logs of this Ray job in our Ray dashboard as well. In this video, we took a look at how to install the Ray operator on a GKE cluster. We also set up a Ray cluster and send a simple job using the Ray CLI.
In the next video, we're going to take a look at other Kuberay fundamentals like Ray job and Ray service. See you then.